Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay. Hai. Assalamualaikum. Let me share. Let me like and share, okay? Okay, Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam, Mehrunisa. How are you? Hi Rizjan, testing. Can hear me correctly? Can hear me well tak? Kita dah semangat pakai mic, tapi kita dah pakai mic, okay? Tapi sekarang tak tahu lah dengar tak dengar Maklum kita ni IT ni macam weak sikit Hai Kak Su. Hai Sumini. Hai Kak Mazlina. Waalaikumsalam. Selamat Hari Raya, Muazzin Batin. Okay, thank you for coming to my live hari ni. Help me like and share ya. Hopefully this topic today, topik hangat ni, harap-harap siapa-siapa out there yang perlu this information, harap-harap dia boleh benefit from this lah, insyaAllah, hopefully sounds like the mic is working. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay, so Ina nak topik hari ni, Ina nak cerita tentang betul tak orang kata, okay, I have one customer. Okay, customer ni dia janda. Okay, dia baru cerai. And then dia punya relative, dia punya ex-husband's relative cakap, kau ni jangan mandai-mandai lah nak suruh cari agent jual rumah, beli rumah. Nanti dah jual rumah kau boleh beli ke? Janda pun mana boleh beli rumah? Okay, I want to ask you, okay, those non-agents out there, you rasa betul ke janda ni tak boleh beli rumah? Okay, what do you think? Maybe you all tell me, what do you think? Betul ke janda ni tak boleh beli rumah? Thank you Kak Mazlina, like and share. Okay, I feel Ina sendiri, okay, dah serve banyak janda, duda, okay, banyak, okay, Ina dah serve banyak, okay, Ina ada banyak buat cases-cases challenging cases. Janda, duda, bankruptcy, kes ada tai long, okay, rumah yang ada tai long problems and all. Ina dah buat macam-macam different type of cases. Jadi kalau yang kakak ni, dia telefon Ina cakap, betul ke janda tak boleh beli rumah? Nangis-nangis dia call Ina, nangis-nangis. Betul ke janda tak boleh beli rumah? Hai Fauzlin, Waalaikumsalam. Hai Diana. Dah beli pun kan, Diana? Yes, you see, dah beli pun rumah. So this is one real life example. So pada Ina, this is not true. Okay, this is for me, pada pendapat Ina tapi mungkin some people who do not know HDB punya rules and regulations, dia rasa janda memang in general tak boleh beli rumah. Kenapa actually janda tak boleh beli rumah? Is it because they are alone, one person? Okay, thank you Lydia. Hi Cik Lydia, I'm going to hear from you soon. Mehrunisa, boleh, asal tak boleh, case by case basis. Yes, betul Kak Z. Yes, betul, topik sensasi. Ina tak faham apa yang Ina tak faham tu. Dia macam main cakap je tau. Okay, first kali Ina nak cakap, Community kita ni memang ada banyak masalah, betul tak Community kita ni orang yang beragama Islam ni dah banyak ditindas, okey? Di mana-manalah di dunia ni, di Singapura ni, dan kita buat apa je pun banyak benda dah salah, okey? Tapi kalau kita antara kita pun kita nak tindas each other, macam mana kita ni nak jadi kuat, betul tak? Jadi kalau orang tu dah kena masalah, yelah, tak ada siapa yang nak bercerai-berai lah, tak ada siapa yang nak bankrupt, tak ada siapa yang nak anak lari rumah, tak ada siapa yang nak masalah macam gini. Tapi bila ada masalah macam gini dan dia dah ceritakan dengan you, kasihlah dia semangat, kan? Maybe dia boleh beli, maybe dia tak boleh beli, tapi kasihlah dia semangat. Tapi selain daripada kasih dia semangat, kita tindas dia lagi, kita pijak dia lagi, kita orang cakap dah jatuh ditimpa tangga, kita tolong angkat tangga, campak kat dia lagi. Bukan nak tolong, nak hentamkan dia lagi. So I think macam makin kesian lah orang kita ni. Macam mana kita nak maju ni, kan? Around the world, I'm not only talking about Singapore, okay? But around the world kan, but okay lah, maybe around the world I also tak tahulah kan. But let's say lah Singapore context, macam mana kita nak maju kalau kita ni asyik push each other down, correct? So berbalik pada topik ni, thank you for like and share guys. And yes, jangan dengar orang pasal cakap, betul, main sondol, main suit aja. Kalau nak tanya orang pakar, tanyalah beberapa orang yang trusted, okay? Okay lah, of course, kalau nak boleh tanya Lina, kalau boleh lah kan. Tapi let's say lah you ada saudara mara yang dah pakai 2-3 ejen, tanya beberapa orang, okay? Dan daripada sana you have a better idea. Tapi Alhamdulillah, this kakak call Lina. Thank you Sarina, with right channel for further information and regulation. Yes, with rules and regulations, betul. Sekarang dia cakap, dia punya saudara tu cakap dia tak boleh beli rumah pasal kerana dia janda. Okay, to clarify, HDB tak ada rules against janda nak beli rumah. Tak ada. Okay, memang tak ada. Dia ada very clear rules. Siapa boleh beli, siapa tak boleh beli. Okay, and if let's say you fall into that category, dan you are eligible, you boleh beli. Whether you janda ke tak janda ke, you still boleh beli. Okay, for example sekarang somebody who wants to buy a house, somebody who wants to sell rumah dia. Rumah dia sekarang dia dengan ex-husband dia, of course in a divorce kan, kebanyakan divorce yang kita tahu end on bad terms, okay? Dah sampai tak boleh communicate and all, kita nak kena ada third party to communicate with them. Tapi ada juga yang on good terms, tapi kebanyakan yang not on good terms. So waktu dia tengah gaduh-gaduh, you know, so both parties lah. I will not say selalunya lelaki yang cakap yang janda lah because in zaman sekarang ni banyak juga yang janda pun cakap yang duda. So it doesn't matter. But regardless siapa yang cakap, but one party can say, kau nak jual rumah cepat-cepat buat apa? Aku masih ada hak dalam rumah ni. And kalau dah jual kau boleh beli rumah. Kau tahu tak, janda tak boleh beli rumah. Okay, firstly to clarify, HDB punya rules stated if you want to sell after court order dah dapat, okay, in a divorce case, kalau let's say court order tu dah dapat, okay, once court order, that means of course court order dah dapat means you dah file, you dah pergi your consultation, all this lah semua dah pergi, dah agree, dah lafazkan, and then dah dapat court order. Court order tu akan tulis very clearly the house is to be sold in the open market, okay, ataupun the house is supposed to be transferred. Okay, dia mesti ada something cerita pasal rumah. Dia ada cerita pasal anak, pasal rumah, bagi-bagi CPF, bagi-bagi cash macam mana, siapa bayar agent fees, you know, all this is stated very clearly dalam court order. So kalau let's say court order ni cakap rumah ni harus dijual, okay, lepas tu let's say lah 50-50 lah, okay, sometimes dia divide 50-50 kan. So sekarang with dia punya 50-50 ni, kita nak kena kira, nak kena cari somebody, agent yang faham. Kalau ada juga orang kat luar sana yang bukan agent yang faham, tapi best if you take an agent yang faham untuk kirakan you sekarang selepas jual rumah, dah potong-potong CPF masing-masing, dah potong agent fees, potong lawyer fees, potong muta'ah, edah, semua sekali, you ada berapa CPF dan berapa cash. Itu nombor satu. Okay, kedua, you eligible tak nak beli. Okay, eligible nak beli means in Singapore law, if you want to buy, if you are below 35, you mesti nak ada custody, care and control. Custody sahaja tak cukup. Okay, if you are below 35, because HDB, you are married below 35, above 21 boleh beli rumah if you are couple. If you are divorced, satu orang, below 35, above 21 tak boleh beli rumah. Kau nangis air mata darah pun tak boleh beli rumah. Okay, unless if you have custody, care and control of anak. Okay, I'm talking about resale flat or BTO or balance flat. Tak kisah. But either one, as long as nak beli rumah, mesti nak ada custody, care and control if you are age below 35. If you are 35 and above, tak ada care and control, or if you don't have kids pun doesn't matter, you still can buy a house. So doesn't matter. So if ada juga senario yang tak boleh beli, tapi tak boleh beli because dia underage, because dia below 35. Okay, jadi dia tak ada anak. Okay, then you have to buy either with your parents atau tunggulah kahwin baru belilah. Okay, but in general kebanyakan normally either you have parents or you have children, you know, so you are eligible to buy. Most of them are eligible to buy. There is no reason why you cannot sell. If HDB cakap, in your court order sekarang cakap that you must sell the house, okay, then mesti nak jual lah rumah tu. Okay, then kalau dah divorce, kalau you dah divorce, then you stay in one house temporarily because tak ada tempat tinggal while waiting for the money, lepas tu baru nak pergi beli rumah kan. Temporary tu dah no choice lah, takkan nak tidur bawah blok, takkan nak tidur kat laut. At least you have shelter, you stay temporary, but sedang mengusahakan tengah jual rumah, then lepas tu kita boleh beli rumah. Just kira-kira untuk jual rumah sahaja tak cukup, because you nak kena kira whether you boleh beli. Okay, sekarang kalau you nak beli, of course you nak beli rumah, kalau you ada duit banyak lah, dah lepas edar muta'ah, ada lah orang macam gitu, tapi dah lepas after everything, you still need to take a loan. Okay, if you are eligible for a loan, kita apply loan baru boleh beli rumah. Tengok rumah berapa bilik you boleh beli, ikut kemampuan you. You have to understand, kalau time tu you kahwin, dua income boleh beli let's say 4 room flat. Because ada 2 income, boleh ambil more loan, every month ada more CPF, boleh beli bigger house. Tapi sekarang dah potong semua, dah dapat muta'ah dah semua, then with 1 income, most probably you boleh beli 3 room flat. Ada juga sometimes if your income is strong or CPF you ada banyak, you boleh beli 4 room flat. Okay, there is no limit macam let's say, oh you tak boleh beli 4 room, you cuma boleh beli 3 room aja, tak ada. Okay, yes can. Yes, kira-kira is very important before selling and buying, betul. If let's say now you tak kira-kira, okay, because I have yang this customer ni sekarang, okay settle already, I do her calculation and yes she can sell and buy. I have one customer at that time dia belum jadi my customer lah. One of my friend, her friend was going through a divorce. Okay, dia ada anak 5. Okay, she just gave birth. Dia tak pernah kerja. Okay, in scenarios like this, when you are going through a divorce, okay, sebelum you pergi divorce, sekarang you dah file, you tengah stress, very depressed over it, you ask an agent punya pendapat. So I already tell her, okay, so sekarang kalau you nak jual rumah, you dapat estimate berapa. Lepas tu nanti kalau you nak beli, you tak cukup nak beli. Okay, because you tak pernah bekerja dan anak 5 mesti nak need house to stay. So maybe you boleh apply rental flat ke, you know, what is the option lah. Kita kasih suggestion, option. Tapi of course end of the day, you are the only one yang boleh decide apa you nak buat. I cannot decide for you. I boleh kasih you all the information, tapi you kena decide yourself lah. Okay, so if let's say sekarang you nak decide, sekarang with the information I show her that dia tak cukup nak beli rumah. Okay, so I told her, her profit was at that time, her profit after dah potong half-half is about 100,000. Okay, so 100,000 in cash. Walaupun dia tak boleh beli rumah, tapi 100,000 is a lot of money. Dia nak spend on dia punya anak 5 orang, dia nak bayar sewa somewhere temporary sampai dia dapat rumah sewa ke kan. So it's a lot of money. Okay, so lepas tu dia go through the divorce. After everything, so I follow up, tanya. And then when I talk to her, last kali when I talk to her, she said she dah dapat 10,000. So I told her, because when I kira, dia dapat 100,000. Kenapa dia dapat 10,000? Okay, so what happened was, the ex-husband, this was years ago, so the ex-husband asked her to sign a document saying that she agree to get $10,000 cash now and not get the 100,000 later. She doesn't know that that letter states that she won't get the 100,000 later. Okay, so end of the day, after everything, she's thinking, sayang betul ex-husband aku ni, kesiankan anak-anak, dia kasih aku 10,000 sekarang, at least aku boleh move out sekarang. That was what she thought. Okay, of course he merayu-rayu, dia buat baik and all that. So sekarang dia dah dapat 10,000 dengan anak 5, dia pindah kat rumah mak dia. Mak dia tinggal in a studio flat, rumah sewa. Okay, now why I bring up this story is because she recently called me. Dia kena halau ingat daripada rumah mak dia. Anak 5, newborn. Aus pula akak. Thank you for joining me semua orang. Like and share, help me like and share please. Thank you. I hope this topic open up minda-minda orang-orang kita and try to do something and try to help each other. Kita bangunkanlah masyarakat kita insya-Allah. Okay, so yes, correct. Rabak, betul. So she waived off her 100,000 rights, and she got $10,000 in cash immediately. Just before the house go for completion semua lah. So now when she called me, she said dia kena halau, and she tak tahu apa nak buat lah. So I told her go and apply for rental flat lah. Okay, her own rental flat. Okay, but my point is, you see sometimes even if you cannot buy, there are suggestions tau. You ada 100,000, you can still plan, boleh buat ni, boleh buat tu, certain things. Tapi kalau, if I give you the advice, and then you don't want to take my advice, if you have a better plan, please go ahead. But if you don't have a better plan, and then now you took 10,000, you choose 10,000 over 100,000, habis macam mana? And then, can you imagine, these 5 kids, how are they going to grow up? They're going to be the next generation of orang susah, orang kena pijak-pijak, less education. So, less education, lower income. Bukan cakap semua macam itu, tapi selalunya lah. Correct? Because if you don't have a space to study, hari-hari kena halau rumah, you don't have a proper place, you tak ada air lampu pun nak belajar, nak buat homework pun susah, it's very difficult for you as a child, for you to study in that scenario lah. Correct? Money is evil. Kesian that lady. Ya, kesian. Tapi kadang-kadang kesian, kadang-kadang aku macam cekik dia pun ada. Betul tak? Kadang aku macam cekik kan. If you don't know, get the pakar lah. Get a professional to give you advice. Okay? The professional you ask, please check around lah. Ask a few people, check the record, Google, macam-macam sekarang boleh check. You don't take any Tom, Dick or Harry. And then lepas tu sekali, this person give you wrong advice, dia ni yang ambil your 100,000. Pun susah juga. So, try to get people to recommend you, and a few people lah. And then see which one you most comfortable lah. Minum air banyak. minum air. Itulah. Marah sampai terbatuk-batuk. Okey lah, aku ni kan memang dah sebatuk ni kan. Sebaik kat rumah orang tak lari. Kalau aku batuk semua orang lari. Amy Faruza. Yes, Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. I wouldn't say that there are no other good agents around. There are many good agents out there. But of course, I am truly humbled by your support. Thank you for taking me as your agent. Thank you for listening to my advice. Most of the people appreciate my advice. I will tell them plan A, plan B, plan C. What is it that you can do? Okay, but sometimes even when you tell them plan A, plan B, plan C, sometimes you listen to outside people. If the outside people are also professionals who can give you good advice, please go ahead. The better advice, go ahead. But if let's say the outside people are people who don't know, kadang-kadang orang ni, diorang I dengar-dengar daripada my sini punya situ, my kakak, my kawan, my adik, my babang tau. So by the time you dah pusing-pusing, actually information tu betul tak betul, you pun tak tahu. So when then now ada masalah, okay, macam let's say one customer, sekarang dia dah jual rumah, she's supposed to get 70,000 in cash. Okay, lepas tu agent cakap jangan beli rumah dulu, tunggu harga turun, tinggal dengan mak dulu. Lepas tu sekali beli, dah jual rumah, dapat 7,000 je. Now when I ask, nama agent siapa? Nama agent tahu. Agent dia daripada company mana? Entah, tak tahu. Check lah name card dia. Tak ada name card dia. Check dengan HDB lah. Dia kan ada sign HDB documents kan. Oh, dia tak ada sign apa-apa. Habis you pergi HDB hari tu macam mana? Kan dia ada kat situ. Tak ada. Dia tak datang. Dia telefon aja. Hey, macam mana kau ambil agent macam itu? Bestnya, senangnya kerja aku. Kesian tau. Aku penat tau buat kerja macam-macam. But if that agent does like that only, where you get that agent from? You have to at least do some homework sikit lah. Tak boleh lah just asal main sondol aja, Dan menyusahkan diri sendiri. Menyusahkan you tak apa. Menyusahkan your kids ni sekarang in future. Correct? Because a house, you nak kena keep for 5 years, a HDB house. You tak boleh just buy, besok tak suka, tak boleh bayar, besok just jual. Tak boleh. Nak kena plan for 5 years. You have to plan for your affordability at least 5 to 10 years. Okay, there are some people who plan your affordability for 3 years, which is wrong. I feel it's wrong. I feel that it has to be 5 to 10 years. Okay, then it's pretty safe lah. Okay lah, make a bit more safe. At least your kids punya ni pun tak. You don't play around with your kids' future also lah kan. Okay, apa tadi siapa cakap? Mana kak nak tengok ni? Hilang pula komen dia. Like my mom case, tak kerja, tak ada CPF, forced to sell house pun tak dapat apa-apa. End up we had to save us and before we get the brand housing. Happy. Yeah, but at least alhamdulillah, you know, your mother is staying there and she's happy. She has a place to stay. Can you imagine now kalau sekarang dah jual rumah, duit dah tak ada, income tak ada, tak bekerja atau lost your job, especially now in COVID kan. Lepas tu tak boleh beli. Okay, dah tak boleh beli, and then sekarang nak kena stay with relatives. You think stay with relatives, lagi kau ada untung kat dalam tangan, bolehlah kau stay with relative. Kalau tak, which relative nak tanggung kau sampai mati? Ada, tapi tak banyak. Tak banyak dermawan yang dalam dunia ni sekarang. Ada, tapi sekarang if they just want to take care of you one person, bolehlah kau duduk kat sofa je pun bolehlah, tidur kat sofa. Kalau kau dah anak lima dengan husband and wife ke apa kan, aku rasa cuma mak kau je lah boleh jaga kau. Lain orang siapa nak, who else want to take you in? It's not easy. You know, even to give you one bedroom, you know, especially now rental so high, satu bulan can get $800, $1,000. Do you think there's a lot of people who's willing to waive off that money and let you stay? No. So that's why you have to have proper planning. Proper planning to sell, proper planning to buy. You know, you have, if you sell, you must buy. Unless you have a place to stay. This is my most important thing. If you sell, you must buy. If you sell and don't buy, you must have a proper, you must already plan where you want to stay. If you sell without having a place to buy, itu yang dangerous. To me, there is I don't like to tell people to wait for market to go down, tinggal dengan saudara dulu. Okay, I tell you why. Because I have one customer, she's also on my Facebook. I don't know if Ajab, if she's listening. When I sold her house, her in-laws have been staying with her for a few years. Previously, when the in-laws sold house, they were told the same thing. They were told that sell house, tunggu market turun, tinggal dengan anak dulu for a few months, 6 months. End up, if I'm not wrong, after 7 years pun tak boleh beli rumah. 7 years, you know how kita dah appeal kat mana? We appeal MP, we appeal HDB, we appeal to CDC, we appeal to PMO, we appeal so many places pun tak dapat. And 7 years, you know, cannot buy house. I don't know, now I think he already have a place to stay, if I'm not wrong, a rental house ke apa. But my point is, you see, if you sell, you have to put aside that money to buy. Market tinggi ke market rendah, if you have enough, go and buy. Okay, of course, kalau dah really no choice, then you have a place to must find a place to stay lah. Kalau tak, dan nak tinggal mana? Tak boleh last minute ni, tinggal lagi 3 hari nak pindah ni, sekarang baru fikir mana nak pergi, you know. Cannot lah. That is not advisable, especially if you bawa orang tua atau you bawa your kids, you know, is not easy lah. It won't be easy for you. Okay. And when that happens, you cannot say government tak tolong aku lah, you know, semua orang tipu aku, adik-adik tak tolong aku semua. You cannot say like that lah, because you have to blame yourself also. You did not do your proper planning. Okay, the people, the professionals around, you know, there's 30,000 agents, you know, in Singapore. Takkan satu pun tak boleh tolong you. You know, you just have to ask. Correct? You have to find the correct one, do some homework, do a bit of work and find the information. You know, then from there, I think it will be easier for you. You know, there's always a plan. Sekarang jual rumah, in the next 5 years kita boleh jual tak? Boleh tak upgrade lagi? Kalau boleh, kita upgrade. Kalau tak boleh, kalau tak cukup, okay, then we downgrade, bayar habis. It doesn't matter. You know, whichever suits your family, nobody has a say, because you yang tinggal sana, you yang bayar. Tak kisah rumah kecil, rumah besar, rumah banglo ke, rumah one room one hall ke, to me it doesn't matter. But most importantly, kau tak susahkan orang. Betul tak? You don't susahkan your family, tak susahkan your parents. Rather than you malu nak downgrade, you cannot afford to pay for the house, you malu nak downgrade, ataupun sometimes, you know, people cerai, tak nak beli. I have some cases that macam dah cerai kan, and then they have to sell house, then with one income boleh beli 3 room flat for example tak nak beli 3 room flat, buat malu aje, you know. So then it's a bit difficult. You have to understand where your income, you have to understand where you are lah, where you stand, you know. If let's say now, even if let's say I buy for you a 4 room flat or 5 room flat, every month kau kena bayar cash 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, you can afford it or not? If your salary 1,008, I'm not looking down on anybody, your salary 1,008, 2,000, if every month you already pay 1,000 cash, your anak 5 kat rumah $800 satu bulan gaji cukup tak nak makan? No. So that's the reason why HDB don't give you enough loan to buy a 4 room flat. We know, because they also do the calculation, kan? Ada duit semua wangi, betul. Ada duit semua wangi. Kalau time tak ada duit, boil water ni pun jadi gaduh. Dah gaduh, makcik telefon aku, Ina, kau tengoklah, aku stay dengan saudara ni sekarang, tolonglah Ina carikan aku rumah. Macam mana cik rumah cik? Cik dulu nak jual rumah, Ina dah cakap jangan jual dulu. Cik jual juga. Cik jual dengan si dia tu sipulin. Lepas tu sekarang cik dah tinggal rumah saudara. Lepas tu sekarang cik call Ina, cakap cik boil water, saudara marah. Ina nak cakap apa? How do I I don't have a magic wand. As much as I try my best to help every customer that I get, I try to solve each problem that I face with, just to help that customer move forward, move on. But I don't have a magic wand. I also still have to follow certain rules and regulations. I can appeal. But if let's say now certain things that you don't follow my advice, and then you terjerumus in hardship, and then you call me after that, I still can try to help. But there are certain things that I cannot help. It's beyond me. Sometimes I still try to appeal. But appeal takes a lot of time. Sometimes I dah appeal setahun, 2 tahun. I have appeal for a customer for a loan, for a third HDB loan. Banyak yang dah dapat tau. Tapi there is this one case, I think dapat almost 3 years tak dapat. That time, a few years ago. Dah almost 3 years tak dapat. Aku tak tahu kenapa, apa dia punya rekod teruk sangat sampai HDB mati-mati tak nak kasih. I also don't know why. But HDB say cannot, I cannot do anything. I appeal again. Tulis PMO, tulis macam-macam dah tulis. But still tak dapat. So you have to understand, most importantly, moral of the story, whether janda or not, bankruptcy or not, gaji besar, gaji kecil, check your calculations, healthy or not. Firstly, you must have an income. You cannot have no income and then you say you want to buy a big bungalow. It doesn't work like that. You pergi kat Along pun minta duit nak beli bungalow pun Along tak kasih you duit pasal you tak bekerja. HDB is, you have to see HDB is not a bank rakyat yang bantu orang aja tau. No, you have to see HDB ni is a business. Okay, dia nak kasih you loan, you must provide documents to show that you are working, you boleh bayar ke tidak and all that. You have to show some income proof. Kalau you totally tak ada income proof, totally tak ada income, how do you expect HDB to give you a loan? Most probably you will not pay. Am I right? The chances of you not paying is very high. So HDB cannot take that kind of risk lah. Kalau HDB take that kind of risk, semua orang beli rumah banglo, semua orang beli rumah sebesar-besarnya, dan tak boleh bayar, bankrupt HDB ni. Kan? Kalau HDB bankrupt, aku yang susah. Macam mana nak jadi je rumah? Betul tak? When a house that MOP but market no good, say saya bubarkan niat sesuci. Celebrate raya lagi bagus sesuci lebaran. Yes. So sometimes in a down market, okay, you can still sell. Okay, for some houses they can still sell. Maybe at that time dia beli rumah tu murah ataupun dia pakai banyak dia tak ambil banyak loan, okay? Dia pakai banyak cash for example. So in a weak market you still can sell and buy. But there are some houses in a weak market you will lose money. I will tell you honestly, this is a weak market, you nak kena keluarkan 20,000. Don't sell. Wait. Wait for market to go up. I don't know when, but wait for market to go up. So now market sekarang tengah very hot, tengah very high. If you don't sell now, any new ruling, there's a few newspaper reports already saying that there may be some new rulings coming in because the house prices are too high. Any new ruling come in once, if let's say the price crash, I don't know lah, kalau lah kan, if let's say the house reduce balik, the chances of you to buy, the chances of you to sell and make enough money for you to buy, terus zero. The chances are very low. Okay, same macam dulu lah before the price naik. So if this is the chance for you to sell and buy, and then still comfortable to pay for the next housing, and senang, tak payah nak utang, you need to have cash to pay lawyer, you need to have to pay cash to pay deposit dekat sebelah sana, nak buat valuation, nak bayar agent, you need to have at least a little bit of cash. You tak boleh terus tak ada cash, zero pun tak boleh lah. But by the time you dah bayar ni, you dah tak ada duit lagi, maybe adalah 1,000 ke untuk angkat barang ke, okay, maybe in that scenario maybe ada. If you don't mind, yes, then we can proceed. But if let's say you mind, then don't proceed lah. Okay, but because this is a good market now, good market, easier for you to sell and at least some people make a bit of money, some people make a lot of money. Okay, especially people who want to retire, nak duduk rumah anak, this is the best time to sell because you jual, all the extra cash is all yours. Ataupun you want to sell and buy next house fully pay, this is the best time to sell because your house will sell at a good price. Tapi that being said, rumah pun tak banyak kat luar nak beli. So you tak boleh lah nak pilih macam dulu kita boleh tengok 100 rumah. Rumah tak handsome, tak nak. Rumah tepi tangga, tak nak. Rumah dalam ada sami budak, tak nak. Rumah nombor tak cantik, tak nak. Rumah ni tulu, ni bukan corner. Macam-macam pilihan ada dulu. Sekarang tak boleh. Sekarang you pilih gitu, you tak ada rumah. Laut besar, corner pun boleh, nak center pun boleh. Pilih je mana. Pemandangan pun baik, sentiasa baik hari-hari. So kalau you pilih lama-lama tu dia kena duduk kat laut. Correct? So tak boleh terlampau memilih. Rumah tu ada tapi cuma kita carikan a lot of eligibility condition. Semua kita dah check a few yang eligible. Let's say ada a few houses, you have to choose antara one of them lah. Okay? Uh, do, 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 do. Hi semua. Thank you for watching. Help me to like and share. Hopefully, kalau ada sesiapa yang need help and can give me a call. Okay, yes, mesti ada plan B. Betul cakap. Okay, just like a few of other people, my clients when at that time 1 year ago the price just went up. Okay, dalam setahun before this 1 year, there are some customers who have been asking me almost every year, how's the price like, you know. There are some people who will make about 100,000 loss, you know, but alhamdulillah now because of the good market they can break even. Okay, maybe they will not make 100,000 profit, but at the moment now maybe they boleh break even lah. Okay, if that is what you want, you just want to move and get out of the house, maybe that's what you want to do lah. Okay, but of course, like I say, you sell, mesti nak apply for loan ke, nak fully pay ke, mesti nak ada plan. What's your next plan? Tak boleh jual dulu lah, nanti boleh fikir apa nak buat. Up to you lah kalau you nak buat macam itu. I would advise you not to, mesti nak ada plan B lah. Okay. Hai Cik Zaitun. Take PHG. Yes. PHG, apa tu PHG? PHG tu Parent Housing Grant. Is near parents. Okay. Housing grant yang government kasih ni, first timer tu ada different grant. Okay. Then PHG ni is additional grant. Okay, for first timer. But even those who have taken PHG before last time, it's not called PHG. Dulu is the near parents grant. Those who have not taken PHG before, they can still take PHG now. Okay, so those yang jual and masih nak beli rumah, check whether you still can get PHG or not. Because sometimes if let's say the previous one that you took is not called PHG, sekarang you masih boleh get PHG. Okay, PHG is 20,000. For couple is 20,000. Kalau dekat dengan mak within 4 kilometers. Kalau parents stay with you is $30,000. Same for your parents also, you know. If your parents now jual rumah and beli rumah dekat dengan your house, dia pun dapat 20,000. Parents pun boleh dapat. Okay, and if let's say you married couple stay with them, dia pun dapat 30,000. Nak kena stay for 5 years lah. Tak boleh stay lagi 2 bulan pindah lepas tu mak bapak dah dapat 30,000. Cannot lah, must stay for 5 years. Okay. Ina Sultan sedia membantu. Yes. Kecing sedia membantu. Okay. I mean like I say, there's 30,000 agents in Singapore. You know, get one of the help of these people. Of course, preferred choice call lah. Saya lah kan, of course. But if let's say lah, you have other agents who you think that banyak lah orang recommend, okay fine, call somebody that pakar, you know, is a professional. Check dia Facebook, check by Google, check CA record. Dia ni ada some records ke, ada pernah tipu orang ke, you know, it's all stated. Now a lot of things are online, you know, and ask around recommendations, you know. So compare a few people and then talk to a few people, then see which one you rasa most comfortable. Ataupun after you dah tengok dia ni profile dia macam bagus lah, dia buat gini dia punya explanation very clear, okay, then take that person lah, you know. But my point is, check some records about it first, you know. Just don't take somebody, just grab somebody. Do you know now with the extra licensing, agent sekarang every year nak kena go for course, every year nak kena renew license. Dulu tak payah. So now if you renew, do all these things and that, some of the courses you have to actually attend and all, and then some at that time we have to take an exam. There are some people who don't pass, but because dia dah 20 tahun jadi agent, now they are still advertising as an agent, but actually dia tak ada lesen. So you better be careful, you know. So that's why I say yang tadi customer tu kan, yang cakap 70,000 profit, lepas tu sekali dapat 7,000 je. But tanya siapa, the agent did not sign on the OTP, the agent did not attend the HDB appointment, the customer also do not know, you know. So agent macam tu susah lah sikit. Most probably I think dia tak license lah, dia tak ada lesen lah. But what do I say? Kan, I tak boleh cakap, oh nama si Dini, kau pergi report polis. I still don't want to say anything like that, you know. So I tell her, you go and check lah, you go and check HDB lah, kan. So take care. You mesti nak be careful. You have to be very sure of what is your plan, selling and buying. So take note, not only janda yang tak boleh beli rumah ke beli rumah. There is no such thing as a category where is once you are janda cannot buy house. Even singles are also now encouraged to buy house, correct? Government is giving BTO for singles, you know, and even singles above 35 can buy their own house. No children pun boleh beli seorang. So apa lagi janda, you know. So I don't see there is a reason why janda alone, kategori janda ni tak boleh beli rumah. Okay, and I don't see why as a janda that people think that she is not capable to think wisely on how to sell a house and buy a house. Okay, I think is also the stigma. Okay, not only people, the stigma about the janda ke duda tu I think is themselves, the esteem also, the self-esteem. You know, sometimes you are, you tengah very depressed, you tengah very down, very stressful, a lot of problems. So you yourself don't believe that you can do it. Okay, again, get the professionals' help. You know, step by step, the person can guide you, inshallah, and get the right person to guide you. And I wish you well. Okay, so those people who tengah very low, very down, very depressed, very tengah esteem very low, you know, tengah masalah rumah ke, masalah apa-apa lah, get help. Okay, reach out for help. I think it's most important for you to reach out for help, get the right people for help. Tak payahlah nak pergi berbual dengan makcik-makcik yang, you know, yang hari-hari datang, rumah kau macam gini-gini, kau laki kau kerja gini. Janganlah tanya orang-orang macam gini. Tanyalah orang yang betul-betul. Tanyalah orang yang boleh give good suggestion, orang yang very positive. You ask people yang negatif, dia kasih kau answer macam itulah. Kau memang cerai dengan dia bagus, tak guna punya jantan. Kalau dia berhias banyak duit, cepat dia kahwin baru. Lagi boleh cepat beli rumah. Okay, so tak kisah berhias ke, dia tak berhias ke, dia pasang badan ke, sembarang lah. Tapi kalau dia, you know, I think everybody is eligible to buy a house. Just need to check the eligibility and see whether, in what way can we help to sell and buy. Batuklah pula kan. Maklum dah tua. Tak tua sangat lah, boleh tahan. Okay, so that being said, I have one thing to say to all of you about for all the viewers, and thank you so much for listening to my live, listening to my berceloteh. And I hope you like and share, you know, to and memberi semangat to janda or non-janda or duda or anybody out there who have such low esteem and afraid to make the move to sell and buy, or to they keep thinking that they cannot do it. You know, I hope they will get the semangat, they call the right people, and to able to help them. Okay, if diorang ada tengah masalah lah, nak upgrade ke, downgrade ke, bankruptcy ke, anything lah. Okay, I hope they get the right help for them to move forward. Okay, help our especially our people, you know, and I hope support our Muslim agents. You know, there are so many of us in Singapore. You know, a Muslim agent, I hope this is what I just feel you are open to take whoever agent you want, but this is what I feel. I will try my best to take Muslim businesses, unless if I cannot find, I will find other business lah. Why? Because I feel if I support Muslim businesses sekarang, especially with COVID orang kena pay cut, orang kena buang kerja, orang kena HBB, orang kena macam-macam lah, you know. So if I support Muslim businesses, this money that they earn, rezeki ni, they are going to spend on their kids, for the kids future, kids nak pergi sekolah, makan, minum and all that, you know. I would like to think that this is halal lah. Okay, rather than if let's say now I don't know where the money goes to, whether dia ni besok dia pergi clubbing, besok dia pergi mabuk, you know, belanja semua orang, open table and all that. I'm not saying that they will, I'm saying that if possible, support Muslim businesses, because if we Muslims don't support Muslim businesses, we more difficult for us to move forward lah. You know, there are tak kurang agent, tak kurang renovation contractor who are Muslim, tak kurang banker, lawyer yang Muslims lah. So I think banyak juga yang very in the current times, those that I've met some really good and very strong, powerful people, Muslims in Singapore, which can give very good advice, which I think is useful, which can help us to build our Muslim community, to push us even forward, and inshallah we can all survive this. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you everybody for the like and share. Thank you for joining my mencece, and I hope you all stay safe, stay at home, stay safe, and I'll catch up with you again when I have another topic hangat, when I can think of another topic hangat, or when I'm free. Okay, alright, thank you so much. Doa for all of us, and my doa for all of you, and please doa for me and my family too. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.